Hey everyone. So today we're going to go beyond the classic roar and the jungle scenes to really dig into a word we all think we know, wildlife, what it truly means, and the silent crisis it's facing. Well, it's a story that affects every single one of us. So let's dive right in. Just for a second, what's the first image that pops into your head when you hear that word? Is it a huge, sprawling savanna, a deep, dense jungle? Or maybe, is it one particular animal? Yeah, for a lot of us, it's probably something like this, right? A lion, a tiger, maybe an elephant. Scientists have a great name for them: charismatic megafauna. They're the big stars of the nature documentaries. But, they're really just the tip of the iceberg. The actual story of wildlife is so much bigger and way more diverse. Okay, so let's really broaden our definition here. What are we actually talking about when we say wildlife? Because the answer, it goes way beyond the animal kingdom. So here's the official definition. And what's so interesting is how broad it is. It's not just animals, it's also uncultivated plants. And the really key words here are undomesticated and uncultivated. We're basically talking about any organism that's living wild, completely on its own terms. And this is where that definition really expands. Wildlife isn't just something out there in some remote desert or forest. It's right here, with us, in our cities. The pigeons on a statue, the mice in the subway, even feral cats. They all count as urban wildlife. They're organisms that have found a way to adapt and live right alongside us. And our connection with all this wildlife is, well, to put it mildly, it's complicated. It's this relationship of deep, deep contradiction. We seem to swing from total reverence to, honestly, ruthless exploitation. I mean, think about it. On one hand, we put this immense value on wildlife. We make educational shows about it, we feature animals as sacred symbols in our religions, and we build entire economies around just seeing them. But on the other hand, we consume it as food, we trade it around the globe for different products, and we hunt it for sport. It's this incredible, profound duality. And that value side of the equation, it's enormous. Just look at tourism alone. It employs 22 million people. It pours over $120 billion into the global economy. For a lot of developing nations, this isn't just some nice bonus. It's a core pillar of their entire economy. Protecting wildlife becomes a matter of national survival. But that same fascination has a really dark side. Because the other half of our relationship, the consumption and trade, has spiraled out of control into a global illegal crisis. And let's be perfectly clear, we are not talking about some small niche black market here. The illegal wildlife trade is a massive criminal enterprise. It's on the same scale as trafficking drugs and weapons. And it's affecting hundreds of millions of individual animals and plants every single year. So what's driving all this? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle is demand. In certain parts of the world, the desire for wildlife products, whether it's for food or status or for unproven medicinal beliefs, is fueling a trade that is literally wiping entire species off the face of the earth. And that brings us to the consequences of our actions. The combined pressure of everything we've been talking about is leading to this catastrophic decline in wildlife all across the globe. It's a great unraveling. Just take a second and look at that number: 68%. A 2020 report from the World Wildlife Fund found that in just 50 years, that's less than a single human lifetime, global wildlife populations have crashed by an average of 68%. More than 2/3 of the world's wildlife gone. And if you think that's bad, the future looks even more grim. According to a huge UN report, right now, 1 million plant and animal species are facing extinction. 1 million. Many of them could be gone within just a few decades, all because of human actions. And scientists are not mincing words about this. They're calling it the 6th mass extinction. In the entire history of life on this planet, there have only been 5 other events this catastrophic. But this time, we are the asteroid. So how? How did we get here? Well, scientists have pretty much pinpointed 4 main drivers behind all this destruction. Let's break them down. All right, so here are the 4 big ones. First up is overkill. It's exactly what it sounds like. We're hunting and fishing animals way faster than they can possibly reproduce. Then there's habitat loss. We clear forests for farms, drain wetlands for cities, and just carve up the very land that wildlife needs to survive. Third, we introduce invasive species. These are outsiders that can outcompete or even prey on native life, and they just throw entire ecosystems completely off balance. And finally, you have what's maybe the most insidious one, chains of extinction. The easiest way to think about this is like a domino effect. Every single species is connected in this super complex web. The source material gives a perfect example. If the hippo disappears, then the birds that eat the parasites off its back, well, they disappear too. And then whatever relied on those birds is the next to go. The loss of just one species can trigger a whole cascade of extinctions all the way through an ecosystem. So when you put all four of those drivers together, you start to realize we're not just losing a few individual species here and there. We are, as scientists so powerfully put it, committing a mutilation of the tree of life. With every single extinction, we are hacking away at branches that took millions of years to evolve. And all of this leads to the final and really the most crucial question. We've defined what wildlife is, we've looked at our really contradictory relationship with it, and we've faced the devastating consequences. The evidence is overwhelming. We are the cause of this crisis. But we are also the only species that can understand what's happening and choose to do something about it. So the question isn't just what now, it's what is our responsibility now?